Our countdown to first pitch in the Great American Conference continues. This journey through the GAC. Next stop's in Shawnee, and we get to visit today with the head baseball coach for the Oklahoma Baptist Bison, Coach Chris Cox, in his third season. Coach, you have the program doing well. It's done great under your leadership. I know there have been hiccups along the way with all the COVID, the stops and starts, but you have a good team, strong team last season, 26-15 overall, 22-11, a solid GAC effort there, made it to the tournament, to the semifinals. Talk about last season bringing into this year and what seems to be some normalcy again.
Yes, that's what we're banking on for sure. But no, getting back to last year's club, that club kind of came in with me in the start of my head coaching career, and I couldn't have asked for a better group to start my head coaching career off. They made it pretty seamless and pretty easy for me with how they carried themselves, how they handled their business, and how they performed on the field. Last year's club made a great run, came up just short in the regular season of being right there competing for a regular season title. And then with last year's conference tournament, ran into a hot team in Henderson State there in the semifinals. And man, they were hard to handle as proved later on by going and winning it all and showing well in the regional. But, last year's club, couldn't have been more proud of them, couldn't have been more thankful for them. Moving into this year, and moving into this year, there's quite a bunch of new faces around here. Which isn't necessarily new to us, but I think this is probably the most new faces on the position side of things that we've had in quite some time.
Well, Coach, sometimes it's all a matter of when you get hot, and definitely Henderson State did at the right time last year. But, boy, you talk about something that is interesting. More new faces than returning faces that are coming back to be a part of the team for the Bison this year. Let's start with those position players, and we'll start with Walker Keller, an all-GAC performer, outfielder, hit .354 for you last year, and third on the team in batting average, 11 home runs, 11 doubles as well, 40 RBI. I'd say it's a pretty good place to start.
Great place to start. Walker coming to us from Orange Coast Junior College, where we've had a few other guys like Jake Gozo in the past, and that's been really fruitful to us. But to watch Walker's growth over the course of last year and into this year, it's been great. He's he's been tasked with becoming a leader on that position side of things when it comes to that, and excited for him and what's ahead for him his senior year. Besides him, it's like you talk, we bring back a little, some more experience from the past with Cade Kissel and Cade Self off last year's club. And then going back to 2020, Ramon Gomez, he's back after medically redshirting last year. Excited at how he's bounced back, had a great fall and a great start to this spring so far. So, other than that, it's pretty new around the position. Obviously went out and got with some transfers from both the junior college and Division I level. So, there's still a lot of battles going around on the infield and the outfield for those positions. And, probably the most competitive fall I feel we've had, just with there being so many new faces and position battles with our depth. It's been a fun thing to watch. It'll be fun to watch itself play out throughout the course of this season.
When coaches talk about depth, and I think that you have to do it with a little bit of a smile, it's tough to go wrong with depth because of so many reasons. Obviously, it helps in the case of, injuries that may sneak up. You never want an injury, but to be able to be deep in any position. But as you said, competition before you get out there into that regular season, I'm sure goes a long way.
Well, I think that's first and foremost. I think competition, that's what depth breeds. It's like we, talk to our guys, you should never feel like you've won a position. It's always a constant battle with that guy or whoever's there with you to keep competing. And, I think it's a huge factor in the success is that everybody's on the same page when it comes to that competition factor and, not necessarily wishing bad on the guy you're competing with, but understanding what's ahead of you and trying to win or go out and compete for the job that day.
We're speaking now with Coach Chris Cox from Oklahoma Baptist. The Bison picked second according to the preseason coaches poll heading into 2022. Coach, among some of those new faces, while we're still on some of these position players too, I mean, you have players coming in that have already received some next level attention.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you go around it. Starting, we brought in Dan Pruitt as a transfer from Dallas Baptist, was a junior college All-American at Western Oklahoma State College, was drafted by the Detroit Tigers out of there, decided to, like you said, to go on and continue his college career, work towards that degree. You go around, it's a couple other transfers that we have, Trey Furry at third base, Isaiah Lasad and Brandon Brewer up the middle, Alex Schroeder and Troy Shields behind the plate, Jose Parga in the outfield. The list, like I said, it can go on a while for us when it comes to that. But
I think you've just gone over into the Shawnee phone book, we better, for time constraint. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I know that you have so many like that, and it is nice. Again, that goes back to that depth. Coach, your staff, pitching staff, I think you have to look and see some of the players that are returning from last year, and of course, again, new faces there as well. Tyler Frank, Brett Galbraith, Bo Dallas, returning from last season, giving you some quality from last year coming into this season.
No doubt. A lot of quality innings and a lot of quality experience with those guys coming back. It's same on the pitching. We return more than we do on the position side for sure with experience as far as that goes. But we also added some transfers in. Really excited about the pitching staff, excited with how those guys have worked. And Coach Painter, it's a testament to Coach Painter, our pitching coach. Really noticed this fall. It's just been, I think the competition's been higher there than it's ever been. Tyler Frank has stepped up immensely, a guy that logged a lot of big innings for us last year. He's even ticked up a notch when it comes to the pitchability and the velo, and expecting big things out of him. And Brett Galbraith, an underclassman that pitched in some big games for us towards the end last year. And I think his progression has ticked up, and the same with Bo. Those guys have worked extremely hard. Excited about this season and what lies ahead for those guys when it comes to that on the pitching side of things for sure.
Coach, you get things underway here pretty quickly. UCO Festival in Edmond, travel up to Alva for the Ranger Festival is there, and then across the state line to the north, get to have an outing against Pittsburgh State before the GAC schedule gets underway. And now you start on the road against Henderson State, which, again, wow, that's you all saw each other near the end of the season last year, and then, of course, in the GAC tournament, you get to start the season out there in Arkadelphia before you finally come home and get to play against Ouachita. Now, getting to visit with Coach Maples, the softball team, I mean, it seems like their entire schedule is a road schedule or neutral site, so at least it's not quite that bad, but it's going to be a while before you have a chance to play there in Shawnee. Talk about the opening to your schedule, and there's a lot of, again, some quality opportunities there.
No doubt. Starting on the road like that, I feel, that's done by design, as you and I talked about this league. I think it's imperative to go out on the road and to get your mettle tested. You got to learn the routine of playing at other people's yards, when all you got in the dugout is yourself. There's no one else traveling with you, the comforts of home or things like that. And in this league, week in, week out, top to bottom, you're going to get tested. And so I feel, starting out on the road against some really good competition, against some good people, is the best way to prepare us for what lies ahead with the Great American Conference schedule, no doubt.
Well, Coach, again, you all are picked up there near the top of the league, picked second according to the preseason coaches poll, and rightfully so with what the Bison have been doing in the Great American Conference in recent years. Coach Chris Cox, thank you so much for taking time with us today and getting to look at the Bison this year. Success to you all, and we appreciate your time here as we count down to first pitch in the GAC.
Appreciate it, Joey. Thanks.